Something in you has been carrying yesterday like it's still happening. Not because you are weak, not because you are too sensitive, and not because you are doing life wrong. It is simply because you are human, and you loved, and you hoped, and you tried. And there were moments when you did not know what else to do but hold on, because holding on felt like the only way to survive what was happening. You may have become so good at being functional that people assume you are finished with it. They assume you have moved on. They assume the chapter is closed. And maybe, outwardly, it is. Yet inside, there can still be a sentence that keeps repeating, a look you cannot forget, a decision you keep revisiting, a version of yourself you keep punishing. I want you to know something very gently. The fact that you still feel it does not mean you failed to heal. It often means you healed in the ways you could with the tools you had, and now life is offering you a new doorway. Sometimes the universe doesn't speak through big dramatic signs. Sometimes it speaks through the quiet moment when you exhale and realize you are tired of carrying it. That tiredness is not a problem. That tiredness is a message. It is the part of you that is ready for a different way. You see, the mind can memorize a moment, and the body can keep living as if it never ended. You can be sitting in a perfectly ordinary day, washing dishes, driving to work, folding laundry, and suddenly you are not in this room anymore. You are back there, back in the conversation, back in the loss, back in the day it changed. And your heart does the same thing it did then. Your stomach tightens the same way. Your shoulders lift as if bracing for impact. This is not because you are broken. This is because your nervous system learned a habit, and habits can be softened. You do not need to fight your past. You do not need to argue with it. You do not need to prove anything to it. You only need to stop living with it as your roommate, because when the past lives in the same room as your present, it will constantly interrupt your now with old alarms. And there is something else that is important. Letting go does not mean you pretend it didn't matter. It means you stop paying for it with your present. Some people hear let go and they feel accused. They hear it like someone saying, get over it. That is not what I mean. I mean release. I mean loosen. I mean unhook your life force from the old scene so you can come back to yourself, so you can hear your own inner voice again, so you can move forward without dragging a heavy suitcase that isn't even yours anymore. Because much of what you are carrying is not really the event itself. It is the story you formed around it. It is the meaning you assigned to it in the moment you were most vulnerable. Sometimes the meaning is, I am not chosen. Sometimes it is, I am unsafe. Sometimes it is, I ruin things. Sometimes it is, people leave. Sometimes it is, I have to be perfect. And your life, dear one, responds to meanings. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because your beliefs become the lens you look through, and the lens becomes the world you experience. Now, I do not say that to blame you. Never to blame you. Many of us formed our deepest beliefs before we even had the words for what we were feeling. A child does not say, I am witnessing emotional inconsistency that will influence my attachment style. A child says, it must be me. A child does not say, this adult is overwhelmed. A child says, I am too much. A child does not say, this situation is complicated. A child says, I don't deserve. And then the child becomes the adult who keeps carrying that sentence, even when the original moment is long gone. So let's be very kind as we look at what you want to release. There is no shaming here. There is no forcing. There is only a gentle return to the point of power. And I know this to be true. The point of power is always right where you are, not where you were, not where you wish you had been, not in the argument you are still trying to win in your mind. Right here, in this breath, in this body, in this moment. There is a quiet kind of freedom that arrives when you stop asking the past for permission to be happy. Some of us do not realize we are doing that. We say, I'll feel better when I understand why it happened. Or, I'll feel better when they admit it. Or, I'll feel better when I become someone who would never let that happen again. And the past becomes the gatekeeper. It becomes the judge. It becomes the one holding the keys. But the past is not a person who can approve you. It is a chapter. And chapters don't get to decide the rest of the book. You do. So, I want to offer you a ritual. Not because you need magic. You already have something more powerful than magic. You have awareness. You have willingness. You have the capacity to choose a new thought and practice it until it becomes natural. A ritual is simply a container. It is a way of telling your deeper mind, we are doing something different now. It is a way of telling your body, you can come out of survival mode. It is a way of telling your heart, you are allowed to soften. And yes, the universe loves containers because the universe is orderly, quietly precise. When you create a small sacred moment, you are speaking the language of alignment. You are saying, I am ready to meet life from a new place. And life responds to that readiness, not always instantly, but faithfully. Before we begin the ritual itself, I want you to notice something. There are two ways people try to release the past. One way is by pushing it away. And that can look like staying busy, staying numb, staying distracted, staying entertained, staying productive, staying fine. But the past does not leave when you push it away. It waits. It becomes louder when the room gets quiet. It taps you on the shoulder in the middle of the night. It shows up in the tone you use with yourself. It shows up in how quickly you expect disappointment. Another way is by making the past wrong, by replaying the scene so you can prove you were right. by building a case in your head, by writing speeches you will never deliver. And that may feel like power, but it is still a bond. It is still attachment. It is still giving your energy to what you say you want to release. So what is the third way? The third way is gentleness with clarity. It is saying, yes, this happened, and also saying, I do not have to live there. It is holding the memory like you would hold a tired child, not to keep the child forever, but to soothe them until they can rest. Let me give you an example. Maybe you still carry an old humiliation, a time you were laughed at, dismissed, embarrassed. Perhaps you were young and you said something innocent and the room turned cold. Or you were older and you trusted someone and they used it against you. So now, even when people are kind, a part of you stays guarded. A part of you is always scanning for the next moment of shame. You think you are protecting yourself, but what you are protecting is the old wound, because the new moment is not the old moment. The new room is not that room. The people in front of you are not the same audience, yet the body remembers, and it tries to preempt the pain. Or maybe you carry an old goodbye. The person left, or the relationship shifted, or life took someone away, and you learned quietly, nothing stays. So you love with a hand half open, always ready to lose, or you cling tightly because you're trying to prevent what already happened. And you call it love, but inside it feels like fear, or maybe you carry a regret, a decision you made when you didn't know what you know now, a choice you wouldn't repeat, and you replay it because you think replaying will somehow undo it. But replaying only keeps you imprisoned in a version of you who was doing the best they could. Yes, doing the best they could, because that is always the truth. Even when we do things we are not proud of, we are still trying to meet a need, trying to feel safe, trying to feel loved, trying to feel worthy, trying to feel in control. And when we can see that, we can begin to bring compassion where we once brought punishment. Now, I'm going to guide you into a ritual that works in 3 languages: the language of the body, the language of the mind, the language of the heart. I call it a 3-key release. You do not need anything elaborate. You do not need perfect lighting or perfect music or perfect tools. You need a few simple items, and more importantly, you need sincerity. If you can, choose a time when you won't be interrupted for 10 to 15 minutes. If you're able, you might do it at night, because night has a natural quiet to it, a softness. But any time is fine, because your willingness makes the moment sacred. Find a small space. It can be a corner of a table, a windowsill, the edge of your bed, just a place that will belong to this ritual. And gather these things if you can: a small bowl of water, any bowl, any water, a piece of paper and a pen, and one small object that feels comforting, a stone, a ring, a coin, a charm, a little item you already love. If you have a candle, you may use one. If you don't, no problem. We are not dependent on objects. Objects simply help the mind slow down. Now, before you do anything else, place your hand on your chest, not as a performance, not to do it right, just to make contact, and take a breath that is a little slower than usual, and another. And as you breathe, notice what it feels like to be with yourself without rushing away. This alone is healing. Because many people leave themselves. They leave themselves in the moment of pain, and they keep leaving again and again whenever the memory arises. But right now, you are staying. You are saying, I am here with you. I want you to look at the bowl of water. Water is ancient. It holds memory. It holds movement. It teaches us something that the mind often forgets. Water does not argue with the rock. It does not force. It does not shout. It continues. It moves around what is hard, and over time, it changes shape, not by violence, but by persistence. So this bowl of water is a symbol. It is here to remind your system that you can move gently without breaking yourself. Now, take the paper and pen, and I want you to write one sentence, just one. Not a whole essay, not the entire story. One sentence that names what you are ready to loosen. It might be, I am ready to release the guilt I carry about that decision. Or, I am ready to soften the anger I still hold from what happened. Or, I am ready to stop reliving the moment I was rejected. Or, I am ready to lay down the belief that I am not enough. Just one sentence. And if you do not know what to write, that is okay. You can write, I am ready to release whatever is weighing on me, even if I cannot name it yet. Now, as you look at the sentence, notice what happens in your body. Does your throat tighten? Does your belly clench? Do your eyes feel warm? This is your body telling the truth. Not a dramatic truth, a quiet truth. And I want you to meet that truth with kindness. You may even whisper, I hear you. Now we move to the first key, the body key. Place your hand where you feel the past most often. Some people feel it in the throat, words unsaid. Some feel it in the chest, grief that stayed too long. Some feel it in the belly, fear and vigilance. Some feel it in the jaw, unspoken anger. Some feel it in the shoulders, responsibility that wasn't theirs. Wherever it is, place your hand there and breathe into your hand. Not to force anything out, not to fix your emotions, just to bring presence. As you breathe, let your shoulders drop even 1 millimeter. Let your jaw soften even a little. Let your tongue rest. Let the space behind your eyes loosen and say quietly to your body, it's okay to come out of holding. Let that sentence land, not as a command, as permission. And if your body resists, That's all right. Resistance is often protection. So if resistance comes, you can say, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe." Feel the difference? When you thank the protection, it doesn't have to fight you. Now, still with your hand on your body, I want you to breathe out a little longer than you breathe in. Longer exhale tells the nervous system the emergency is over. And as you exhale, imagine the old moment losing its grip, not disappearing, just loosening. Like a tight knot that finally begins to give. Now we move to the second key, the mind key. This is where we meet the thought pattern. Look at the sentence you wrote. Ask yourself very gently, what did I make this mean about me? Not what it meant about them, not what it meant about life. What did it mean about you? And you may hear something like, it means I am unlovable. It means I cannot trust. It means I am always too late. It means I don't matter. It means I'm not safe. Just notice what comes. And if a harsh thought arises, don't scold yourself. Just recognize it. This is only a thought, and a thought can be changed, not by fighting it, by offering it a new home. Because the mind is like a room. If you keep the same furniture, you keep living in the same arrangement. But you can rearrange. You can choose again. So now, beside your original sentence, write one new statement that you are willing to practice. Not something that feels impossible, not something that makes you roll your eyes, something you can accept as a gentle possibility. For example, if the old meaning was, I am not chosen, the new statement might be, I am learning to choose myself. If the old meaning was, I am unsafe, the new statement might be, I can notice safety in small moments. If the old meaning was, I ruin things, the new statement might be, I am growing and I can make new choices. If the old meaning was people leave, the new statement might be, I can be steady with myself. Notice how these do not demand perfection. They offer direction. They offer support. They offer a pathway the mind can walk. Now we move to the third key, the heart key. This is where we bring forgiveness. And I want to be very clear. Forgiveness is not saying it was okay. Forgiveness is saying, I am not staying tied to this forever. Forgiveness is a release of your own energy. It is a choice you make for your own peace. And sometimes the forgiveness you need most is for yourself, for not knowing, for choosing what you chose, for staying as long as you stayed, for leaving the way you left, for coping the way you coped. So place your hand on your heart again and say something like, I did what I knew how to do at the time. Let it be true. Even if part of you argues, even if part of you says, no, I should have, that part is still trying to gain control through criticism. But criticism is not control. It is a wound repeating itself. So you can say again, I did what I knew how to do at the time. And then I am willing to treat myself with more kindness now. That's it. Willingness is enough. Now, take the paper, hold it gently, and bring it over the bowl of water. If you have a candle and you feel safe using it, you may light it now. And as the flame appears, notice how it doesn't rush. A flame is patient. It simply is. In the same way, your healing does not need to rush. Now, here is the part that becomes the ritual. Tear the paper once, not into tiny pieces, just one tear. And as you tear it, let the action symbolize something real. The tear is not violence, it is separation. It is you saying, "This is not my whole story." Then tear it again. And you may feel emotion. If you do, allow it. Tears are not a setback, they are a cleansing. And now, drop the torn pieces into the water. Watch them float. Watch the ink soften. Watch the paper begin to change. This is the universe speaking through a simple thing. Nothing stays as it was. Even this, even you. Now, take your comforting object, the stone, the ring, the coin, and hold it in your palm. Let it be your anchor to the present, and say softly, with your own voice, "I am here now," not as an affirmation to impress anyone, as a reminder. Because the past is never stronger than the present moment you inhabit consciously. Now, keep holding the object and look at the water. If your mind starts telling stories, let it. If emotion rises, let it. But stay with this. You are teaching your system that you can be with discomfort without being consumed by it. That is freedom. This is where the universe's message becomes very personal. Sometimes you think the universe has been silent, but the universe has been arranging moments like this, where you finally stop and listen. The universe has been trying to reach you through the parts of you that still ache, not to torment you, but to lead you back to yourself. Because the ache is a compass. It points to where love is needed, not love from someone else, love from you to you. Now, I want you to imagine the version of you who first experienced what you're releasing. See them in your mind, not as a character, as you, younger, or simply more tender. Notice their face, notice their posture, notice what they needed. And now in your mind, you do something very simple. You walk toward them, and you offer them what they did not receive. Maybe it is protection. Maybe it is understanding. Maybe it is reassurance. Maybe it is someone finally saying, "It wasn't your fault." Maybe it is someone finally saying, "You are not too much." Maybe it is someone finally saying, "You are allowed to start again. Let yourself offer that. And you don't have to get it perfect. Your intention is the medicine. Now, let me tell you something that can feel surprising. Sometimes we hold on because letting go feels like betrayal. We think, if I release this, it means it didn't matter. Or, if I stop being angry, it means they get away with it. Or, if I forgive myself, it means I'm letting myself off the hook. But healing is not betrayal. Healing is loyalty to life. Healing is you saying, I am choosing to live. And life wants you. Life wants you present. Life wants you available for goodness. Not because goodness is guaranteed, but because you deserve to notice it when it arrives. You deserve to be able to receive it. So now, with your hand on your heart and the water in front of you, I want to offer you a sequence of statements. You don't have to say them all out loud. You can whisper them, or think them, or simply let them pass through you. But let them land slowly. In the infinity of life where you are, you can begin again. It is possible to loosen what has been gripping you. You can allow yesterday to be yesterday. You can meet today without carrying the whole history. You can learn from what happened without living inside it. You can honor what you felt without building a home in it. You can be gentle with yourself and still grow. You can hold yourself with compassion and still choose differently. And if you notice any statement that feels too far away, that's okay. You can add one word that makes it true for you. Maybe. Or, I am willing. That is the doorway. Now, I want to bring this into practical life because your healing is not meant to stay in a ritual moment. It is meant to become the way you live. So let me give you a few everyday examples of what letting go can look like. It can look like waking up and noticing the first thought is the old story. And instead of following it, you place your feet on the floor and feel the temperature of the room. You feel your breath. You look at the light. You choose one simple present moment detail. And you return. Not because the thought is wrong, but because you do not want it to run your day. It can look like being triggered by a message, a delay, a tone, and instead of reacting from the past, you pause and ask, what is happening now, in this moment? You slow down your breath. You soften your shoulders. You speak from the present, because the present has options. The past has only repetition. It can look like forgiving yourself in the grocery store when you suddenly remember something embarrassing. Instead of cringing and attacking yourself, you might quietly say, that was a different version of me, and you keep walking. That is letting go. It can look like noticing your Abby, out to stalk old photos, old messages, old memories. And instead you take a sip of water, place a hand on your chest and say, I am choosing peace tonight. That is letting go. Small, real, human. Now if you have the candle burning, you can watch it for a moment longer. If you don't, watch the water and notice something. You are witnessing change, not through force, through presence. And this matters because your mind has learned to try to change things by force, by pressure, by harshness, by urgency. But your nervous system heals through safety, and safety is created by your own gentleness. So now, take your comforting object again, press it gently into your palm, and let it remind you that you are here, that your life is here, that you are not a memory. You are a living being in a living moment. Now I want you to do one more thing, very simple. Place your other hand near your throat and say quietly, I am allowed to release what I no longer need. And say, I do not have to carry this to prove anything. And say, I am learning to live from who I am becoming. Let those words settle. Now, if you want to complete the ritual, you can take the bowl of water and pour it down the sink. As you do, let it symbolize the release leaving your space. And you can rinse the bowl and return it to normal life, because that is the beauty of this. The ritual ends and life continues, but you continue differently. If you cannot pour it out right away, that's okay. Even seeing it there for a while can be a reminder. Now, I want to speak to the part of you that says, but what if I do this and nothing changes? That voice is not your enemy. It is the part of you that has been disappointed before. So be kind to it and tell it the truth. Healing is not always loud. Sometimes the first sign of healing is that you notice the pattern sooner. Sometimes it's that you come back to yourself faster. Sometimes it's that you speak to yourself with less cruelty. Sometimes it's that you sleep a little deeper. Sometimes it's that you don't need to reopen the wound to feel connected to the story. These are changes, real changes, and over time they add up. Now I want to bring in another message from the universe that you may need to hear. You may have thought you were delayed. You may have thought you were behind. But what if you were being prepared for a more honest life? What if the universe didn't let you move on the way others do, because you were meant to move through with consciousness, with integrity, with depth? Some souls do not skim the surface. Some souls are built to become wise, and wisdom is formed by the willingness to face what you feel and still keep your heart open. You are that kind of soul. Now, let's talk about the future for a moment. Not in a pressured way, not in a you must do more way, just quietly. When the past loosens, you begin to have space. And in that space, you may notice new desires, new energy, new ideas, new invitations. And it can feel unfamiliar because you are used to living with the weight. Sometimes when people release pain, you feel almost lonely at first, because pain has been a companion, even if it's a harsh companion. So if you feel strange in the quiet, do not panic. You are not losing yourself. You are meeting yourself. You are meeting the part of you that existed before the story. the part of you that can laugh without scanning for danger, the part of you that can rest without guilt, the part of you that can receive without bracing. Now I want to offer one more gentle practice you can do in the days ahead. When the old memory arises, and it will sometimes, because the mind is a creature of habit, try this. Name the memory simply. Ah, that's the old scene. And then name the present. Right now, I am in my room. Right now, my feet are on the floor. Right now, I am safe enough to breathe. You are not denying the past. You are updating your system. You are telling your body what time it is, and that is what it needs. Sometimes the body is like a clock that stopped at the moment of shock, and you are gently turning the hands forward again. Now, I want you to return to one truth. You deserve good things, not because you earned them through suffering, not because you became perfect, but because you are life expressing itself, and life is meant to support life. When you stop gripping the past, you become more available for support. Support may come through a person, an insight, a door that opens, an unexpected sense of calm. And you may say, "Why now?" And the universe will whisper, "Because now you can receive it. There is something very tender I want to say. You do not have to be the same person who went through that. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to outgrow your old coping. You are allowed to live with more ease. You are allowed to laugh without apology. You are allowed to trust small moments again. You are allowed to let love be simple. And if your mind tries to warn you, "But what if it happens again?" you can answer with kindness, "Then I will meet it from who I am now, because you are not the same. You are wiser. You are more aware. You have learned, and you are learning how to be on your own side. Now, take one more slow breath. Feel it enter. Feel it leave. And notice, you are here. You are not back there. You are here. And this moment is a fresh page. Not a perfect page, a fresh one. There is no need to write your future in the ink of your past. You can write it in present moment truth, in small choices, in self-respect, in tenderness, in courage that is quiet. Now I want you to imagine that the universe is not far away, not up in the sky, but right here, in the stillness that holds you when you stop running. And in that stillness, the universe offers you a simple message, not shouted, not dramatic, just certain. You are not meant to carry everything forever. And as you receive that message, notice how your body responds. Even if it is only a slight softening, even if it is only a small exhale, even if it is only the tiniest release behind your eyes, that is enough. That is real. That is the beginning. So tonight, or tomorrow, or whenever you do this ritual again, remember, you are not doing it to become worthy. You are doing it because you already are. You are doing it because you want to live with more space inside you. And you deserve that space. You deserve a mind that is not constantly revisiting old pain. You deserve a heart that is not constantly bracing. You deserve a body that does not have to hold tension as proof of what you survived. Yes, you survived. And now you are allowed to live. So as we close, I want you to feel the quiet strength in you. Not the strength that pushes, the strength that stays present, the strength that chooses gentleness even after hardship, the strength that says, I can begin again. And if you would like, you can whisper one last sentence, just for you. I am giving myself permission to be lighter. Let it be a private vow. Let it be soft. Let it be real. And then carry on with your day or your night, not trying to force anything, simply noticing how life feels when you are not gripping so tightly. And if the old story comes back, you can meet it with the same calm truth. Not now, not in this moment. I am here. And here, there is room to breathe,